Alright everyone, in this video, pardon me if I speak fast, there's a 15-minute time limit for these recordings, so I'm trying to get all the information in that is extremely important and skim off if I need to in the end. So for this one, I'm just going to show you how to do an in-person study and how to get it all set up on SONA. So last video, I ran through Qualtrics and how to get all that set up, so should be good with that. Again, at any point throughout this whole process with you guys, send me an email and I'm sure I can try and get anything sorted out that needs to be. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is first open SONA Systems. Oh, the link is right here, or if you just Google BW SONA Systems, it's the first option in Google that comes up. I've created an account for all of you. You're going to put in your username. Mine would be abarond18. Someone else's could be jsmith17, whatever it is. You know, it's the thing before you're at bw.edu. So that's the username. And password for everyone right now is thesis2021. You're welcome to keep this password, but you know, you can change it if you want to, if you feel it's more protected or whatever, or easy to remember. If you have any issues logging in, let me know, and I probably messed something up, and I'm sure it's easily fixable. So to log in, you're going to be typing thesis 2021 right in the little password box, obviously. Well, no, not chances are. I think there are only a few of you who have been participants in the past for these studies. I have gone to BW for all 4 years, so I had to do these studies, like participate in them as a freshman. So that's this participant option. You guys are researchers now in 281. Congratulations. You've exceeded the participant barrier. So you're going to click on researcher if that does come up. It may just lock you in here, like I said, if you haven't participated in the past. So first step you're going to want to do is change your password, or don't. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. So it's going to have you put in your current password and then your new password and your new password again. Don't forget to hit update or else it won't like save. So just make sure you update it. All right. Sorry this is so fast. Pause it if you need. I don't care. Okay. So that's how you change your password on here. Let me scroll down and make sure I'm on. Okay. So to add your study to SONA, wow, this mouse. Good. To add your study to SONA, you're going to want to go up here in this brown bar. It's going to say add new study. Okay. So, geez Louise. So it's going to come to these options right here. And down here is an explanation of what they all are. An in-person study is the first one, the standard study. Multiple day in-person study. I don't imagine you guys are going to have this. If you do, let me know, and if there's anything weird, we can get it worked out. And then this online external study, this is going to be the Qualtrics survey. So what I imagine most of you are going to have, that's what I had for my thesis. But just in this video, we're going to go over the standard in-person study, which I only think there's a few of you, so this video won't get many views, but it's okay. Okay, so you're going to click the standard study. Perfect. Continue. You're going to want to put in a study name. The catchier the name, the more participants you get. I think there was one from last semester when I was clearing it out. It said feels like the first time. That was the title, and it was about some sexual experiences. So I'm sure that got a lot of participants in it because, you know, it's interesting, it's clever, it's funny, it's witty. Okay, so put in a catchy name and then a brief abstract. It'll just be kind of not like your abstract in your paper, but just more interesting, and not dumbed down because that sounds bad, but I mean really make it so everyone can understand what you're looking at in like very lay terms. You're also going to want to put your eligibility here because it's going to be some of the first things that people see as they're reading through. So do that. Put your eligibility, your little witty abstract here. Detailed description, that's just if you really wanted to go into more detail, but it's not like necessary at all, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Eligibility, this is going to be like if you have to have been in a relationship, if you have to have a cat, if you need to, have siblings or be left-handed, stuff like that. I mean, you all know what eligibility requirements are. That's where you're going to put this. This is very important to have there. We have to hope that the Psych 100 students are honest and truthful about if, being true to the eligibility. If it asks you to be left-handed, hopefully they're left-handed if they're participating. Okay. For duration and credits, these go hand in hand. Let me make sure I'm in the right top of abstract eligibility, duration. How long you expect your experiment to last, obviously. Credits, credits is going to be based on how many minutes your survey is. To figure this out, I think it's easier to have like a friend take it or someone who doesn't already know you know what your questions are, you know what your measures are, so you might breeze through it and it'll take 10 minutes. But someone else might do it and they'll have to read every question in depth and think on it. So just have someone who doesn't exactly know what you're looking at take it so they can really give you a true number of how long it'll take. Um, so if your study's 10 minutes, it's going to be 1 credit. If it's 20 minutes, it's going to be 2 credits. 30 minutes, it's going to be 3 credits, so on and so forth. I hope you can see the trend there about how to figure out the credits and the time. We don't assign half credits, so just round the time as needed. Um, Studies that tend to be longer, they might get more participants because they're more credits. However, it will take them more time. So, maybe not. It's pretty relative there. So researcher, obviously you're going to want to pick your name. Um, Everyone should be in here who is taking 281. If not, you probably couldn't have logged in. So just, send me an email if anything comes up weird with not finding your name here or not being able to log in. You don't need to give your IRB approval code. This doesn't really help me much because I can't go into like an IRB database and like find your IRB at all. So I believe I went over this in the Qualtrics video. Just make sure you send me like your IRB approval and all that stuff as soon as you get it. And, I'll obviously keep track of all that stuff. For it to be approved, there's a button you can hit once we like get out of this. There's a button you can hit and it'll send me an email and it's like, oh, this needs to be approved. And then I'll approve it and it'll be nice and easy and approved and all good. You're going to want to hit yes for the active study because it is active. If it's inactive, people can't participate in it and they won't see it on the list. So do not hit this yet because there's still more to look at. I don't think you'll have any prerequisites, but obviously this is if you need to have participated in this study in order to do yours, but I don't imagine we'll run into that. Disqualifiers, that's like if you've taken this study, you can't take mine. Again, I don't think we'll run into this. Course restrictions, all of you will pick Psych 100, every single Psych 100 class on the list. It's not like, oh, only I can do Dr. Perry's. It's everyone. Everyone clicks every Psych 100 class and you just literally click it and it, sets it over there for you. So those are all the people that can participate and obviously those are all the Psych 100 students. So the study URL, this is where it can get weird for the in-person. If you post your study URL, they might be able to take your survey. Like they'll sign up, but they may be able to participate in like the survey part right away. It might just be best to not put it here and just have it like have the link easily accessible when they come in to do the in-person part. If you are doing a survey, you could be doing something more, mechanical, like write with your left hand and then write with your right. That's not going to be a survey. That's going to be right in front of you in the in-person session. So keep that in mind. Just a little tidbit there, I guess. Should the researchers receive email? This is up to you, really, if you want to do that. If you think it's helpful for you to keep track of everything, actually, it probably is really helpful for you. Maybe just hit yes for like signups and cancellations just so you can write it down and you're not showing up and wasting your time when they've already canceled like 24 hours before. You're only going to have one researcher, I imagine, for your studies, so don't worry about that. That doesn't matter. None of this. So you're going to hit add study. If I hit add study, it'll tell me nothing because oh, okay, I didn't fill out anything. Okay, so that should be all up and running. If you go, okay, so we're back home, let's say. If you go to my studies, your study will be here, but it will say unapproved over here. So what you do to do that, oh, there will be this button right in the study status, and it'll say something about getting it approved or sending an email or something. It'll be, I think, highlighted in brown. So just hit that, and it'll take you to this thing about submitting it for approval. You don't have to like type like anything. It tells me what it is when I get it. So don't worry about that too much. So this is going to be what your study looks like. You're going to have like more stuff, I'm sure, to look at. You know, eligibility, abstract, all that fun stuff. So to add time slots, you're going to click on this view administer time slots. And you can either do it one at a time or you can add multiple, whatever it is. We'll just do it one at a time. You're going to put the date in for, you know, when the time slots are, and then a start time. The time's obviously going to be dependent back in the where you put your information in. The end time is going to depend on how many minutes or duration of how long the study takes to complete. So hopefully that'll be, you know, in sync with what you just submitted previously for your, like, to get your thing up and running. So start time, do this around your schedule. There's no reason you need to be missing classes for this. So, yeah, just do it around your schedule and you'll get participants. Number of participants, this is specific to like during this session. So if I'm looking at 10:20 a.m. on Tuesday, how many people do I want in the room? How many tests can I be giving out at that time? It might be easier to just do one and keep it so you're not overwhelmed, you're not stretching yourself too thin and missing certain things. So keep that in mind, but that is during a specific time. That's not like during the entirety of your study. So keep that in mind. The location, if it's in person, you're going to, let's see, we'll go back here. We went over all that. Okay. So before you post a location, before you do this, you have to submit a room request to me. It's really not much of anything. You're just sending me an email with your name of your experiment, dates needed for the room, and then the times requested for that date. Make sure you have enough setup cleanup time, so don't do it at the start of like your first time slot, because that's not gonna, you know, that might be a little crammed. And then right here it tells you kind of what rooms you're looking at or what are going to be available to you. Things can go quicker if you send me multiple dates and times and specific dates and times, so I can try to work around whatever else is going on in that classroom, whether it's classes or another person's in-person study. And then I will email you with the information if you got the room or, you know, if things fell through or whatever. But it'll be okay. I don't think there's many in-person studies. You can also do it over like Zoom if you wanted. It might be harder depending on what you're wanting to do in your study, but you could do that and you're just going to put your URL here for your Zoom meeting or whatever it's going to be, and then you're just going to add this time slot. So that's it with time slots. In terms of canceling, I'll mention this quick before I have to I do have to, okay, wait, one more thing. In terms of canceling, if they email you like that day that they're supposed to go, it's up to you of whether or not you want to grant them credit or not grant them credit, but they can lose points for canceling or not showing up like before the time that they were supposed to cancel in. So keep that in mind and we can figure that out if that happens. And then approval, I need to see a copy of your approved IRB form before you're able to like get this up and running before I can approve it on SONA. Make sure your study starts with an informed consent. and I'll go over all this and make sure it's all right. I'm out of time. I hope this helps. Email me with questions.